Well, a warm welcome back to Guangzhou city centre, resplendent on a lovely December afternoon as it is now. The Canton Tower in the background there. Model our trophies on that tower in this tournament. And we're back inside the Tianhe Stadium. The crowd just getting their breath back really after a phenomenal match between Chen Long and Victor Axelsen. That's what you've seen so far, and look at that match at the bottom. CHOU Tien Chen versus Anthony Ginting. That will start favourite clearly, but Ginting, you never quite know. Can be absolutely brilliant, more than capable of beating any player on his day. We'll find out very shortly. Delighted to be joined by Steen Pedersen. I know you were watching a little bit of that Victor Axelsen match. We got a bit of a tough act to follow. That was great stuff earlier.
Yeah, it was like we've seen so many times. Chen Long, when he fell behind in the second game, he lost a little bit of interest, but came back strong, playing this near side of the court in the decider.
Players preparing to make their entrance. They'll be preceded by the officials. They'll be on court momentarily. Gives me a chance to remind you that this is the final game in our first session. Just look at the career stats. Well, nearly 600 matches, CHOU Tien Chen. Ginting obviously a lot younger, 6 years. Charles Jr. But I can tell you, no one's left the arena. This is should be a terrific swan song. Just going back to what I was saying, this is our final match of this session, and then our second session on court 1 will start at 6 o'clock local time, which is 3¼ hours from now. So you have time to get something to eat and then rejoin us for the evening session, which again features a host of big names. Momota, Sindhu, to name but two. Action also continuing on court 2. Morten Frost will be your commentator there at the moment. But if you're staying with us here, I imagine you will be, for CHOU Tien Chen versus Anthony Ginting. Officials are out there, as you can see. Ginting actually has a winning head-to-head record over CHOU Tien Chen. How much does that matter? Does that matter that much? I mean, he has beaten in the last 2 times they've played.
Yeah, Ginting has won 2 previous meetings in 2019, and I guess gives him a little bit of self-confidence, but it's fairly even. It's 4-6. It's not like, had it been like 2-8 or something, then it would have been significant. But here I think it comes a lot down to the playing conditions and how good a shape each player is in. Have they been able to practice fully up to this? We know Anthony Ginting, he's played the Southeast Asian Games team tournament for Indonesia, won the gold there, so he hasn't really been able to build up to this time.
Well, there, just confirmation of what we've been saying in the head-to-head. That last meeting, the Hong Kong Open, not that long ago, actually.
So you're serving too.
Ginting's got to 4 finals this year, and unfortunately for him, he's lost the lot. This would be, however, a pretty good time the break is dark. Let's look at CHOU Tien Chen first, from Chinese Taipei. Currently ranked 2 in the world. That is his best ever. Going to go back 5 years to find his first major title. That was the French Open. And he's had a terrific 2019. He won the Indonesian Open, Super 1000 event. The only 1000 event that Momota didn't win. He took down the Thailand Open, Super 500 tournament, and also on home soil, the Chinese Taipei Open, and he's lost in a couple of other finals. And Ginting, ranked 8, has been 1 place higher previously. Mentioned the 4 finals he lost. One of those was the China Open, and he lost a couple of Super 500s as well in Hong Kong and in Singapore. One of the things that interested me, Steen, I was just reading some of the quotes from the players, and CHOU was saying that everyone here is going to be pretty tired. I mean, you kind of forget it's a tough, grueling circuit. We're right at the end of it. I wonder how much that will play into the next 5 days, not just in this match, but just generally. Whoever copes with kind of the physical side of it most will have a big advantage.
I also think with Momota, who said this is very different from a normal tournament. It was in the comment for his tournament last year where he won this title here in Guangzhou, where he had a fairly easy draw. This year there is no easy draw, and you have to play good opposition from day one. In normal tournaments you can have a little bit weaker opposition in perhaps first and the second round matches.
Yeah, but there were no gimmies this week, that's for sure.
Also, given the result of the previous match where Axelsen lost to Chen Long, I think this has become an even more important match for CHOU Tien Chen. As far as I recall, he's got a not so good score against Victor Axelsen, so a lot at stake for the world number 2, I think, in this match.
Chair umpire Klaus Schlieben introducing the players. Johanna de Silva is the service judge, and we're underway. Our final match of this first session. Have to go some to match the drama and the quality of the Chen Long Victor Axelsen match that preceded this contest. Nice idea, but just a bit too much of an angle. Well, I wonder if this match is going to be markedly different to the previous singles, because we didn't see too many long rallies at all in that match. That might be the longest rally. I don't think there was a longer rally in the Axelsen match.
Yeah, I saw one at 33. I think that was the longest. Yeah, there's a chance. It depends. Right now, they're sort of trying to get used to the playing conditions. They've been practicing here in the hall, but we were here yesterday and we saw the doors to the outside environment was closed here. Today they're open, and basically the wind is blowing directly in the hall here. So the familiarization that they've had the last 2 days is not that valuable. It's today that counts. Also figuring out what kind of speed do we have on the shuttles. It seems like we've had reasonably good speed on the shuttles in the first matches today.
Yeah, there was an Axelsen jump smash, 400 kilometers plus.
We can see that there's drift alongside the court. CHOU Tien Chen playing with the drift. That means that he's got to be really careful playing the back line of Anthony Ginting. But as we saw there, it can be done. Last year at the World Tour Finals here in Guangzhou as well, the shuttles were extremely slow, and that really gave us some long rallies. It seems like they're better so far. And he can put it long as well, Ginting.
Good judgment from CHOU. Too much power there from Ginting. First came to light as a teenager. He won Youth Olympic bronze back in 2014. World Championship Junior bronze same year.
Yeah, and they actually played each other in the group stage also here last year. Ginting and CHOU, where CHOU won it in a hard-fought 3-game match. So if the shuttles are a little bit faster today compared to last year, it might give Ginting a little bit of a better chance. But let's see. Still in the early stages. On the line.
It's going to be challenged, but I'm with you. I thought it was good. He's landed a couple of those already, the Indonesian.
I'm sitting directly over that line, directly over the A in Guangzhou, and it was plumb on the line. If not, I'm going to see an optician between the two sessions here.
Well, there hasn't been a single challenge overturned so far on this court today.
So they've been sharp, the linesmen.
Yeah, I mean, there haven't been too many, to be honest. But clearly, he was never getting any joy with that challenge. Excellent defense from Ginting.
Oh, he missed that.
And it's one of those tournaments, because of the format, Steen. I mean, obviously you're not out if you lose the first match, but it does put you under a huge amount of pressure. And the same thing if you win your opening match. It's just a great relief, and you know you're effectively one more win away from qualifying, and you've got two chances to do it. Yeah.
Two chances, and if you win in straight games, then you might even be able to to get on with 2 losses if they're in 3 games. It's also sometimes if you think ahead what lies ahead of you, then it becomes too much. You've got to focus on staying in the now.
It's the old football manager mantra: one match at a time.
Yeah. One rally at a time. Oh, there's some sideways drift as well.
Yep.
From left to right, I can see. Wow. Doesn't look like CHOU has settled in yet. I don't know if he's... we've often seen him play 3-game matches. CHOU Tien Chen, very strong physically, and I don't know if he's deemed that playing with the drift here is probably going to lose him the game anyway, so it will take too much energy.
Missed that as well, so he's 4 points behind at the mid-game interval, and way too many unforced errors so far from the world number 2.
Jadi dia nggak bisa rancang, ya nanti balik lagi, ya. Depannya kalau depan gitu, kayak enak menghindar. Nonet jangan buka. Karena sekali 2 kali kamu aja. Kalau kamu angkat ini, kamu jaga dia juga nggak berani. Tapi kalau kamu dorong, dia posisi muter. Kayak kalau kamu posisi ambil backhand jangan. Kecuali kamu pasti sekali boleh.
Very peculiar mistakes he's making at the moment, CHOU.
Well, that shot summed up his mornings or his afternoon so far.
He just shows a little bit of severity of the drift that CHOU thought that was going long, because it didn't actually touch the line. It was landing well inside the back line of the man from Chinese Taipei.
Yeah, total misjudgment. There's another gift for Ginting.
He's got to, in the second game, because this game is gone, and he's got to gear up. He's got to play at a totally different pace, CHOU Tien Chen. If he can't do that, then he's going to lose match.
That's better.
Yeah, but he's going for those short rallies and the one-hit wonders, and that makes me think whether he's not totally fit, whether he's a little bit ill or nursing some injury. And then we see rallies like that.
Yeah, it's not helping his cause that Ginting is looking pretty sharp so far. And it's rather like you watch one of those nature programs show you how a lion hunts, and sees a pack and he picks on the weak one.
Yeah.
And so if he perceives any weakness in CHOU Tien Chen, he's going to pounce on it. He has done so far.
Yeah, and Ginting is not unfamiliar with playing with the drift, and he's one of the fastest players on the circuit in men's singles. So so he's definitely capable of playing this knee side of the court well.
Yeah, body language from CHOU Tien Chen is, say, defeatist, but he's not a happy bunny at the moment.
No, but it could be totally different in the second game when he's playing up against the drift. Let's hope that it's going to be different, because then we'll have a good badminton match.
Nice deception from Ginting, who's running away with this opening game. Put the pressure on early, and as Steen says, it may be that Chow's lost a little interest in it. Wasn't missed many.
20 seconds. 17. 20 seconds.
That's well done.
It's been his trademark shot in this game, that jump smash down the line.
18, 8, 11. Serves over. 12, 8.
Well, marching towards its inevitable conclusion. She's not going to be too happy. I need to impart a few words of wisdom in a couple of minutes when we come to the break between games.
14, 8. 10, 19. Serves over. 9, 14.
So, what's looked like being on the cards for the last 10 minutes about to come to fruition. 10 game points for Ginting.
Serves over. 10, 16.
Good shot.
And that'll do it. 21 points to 11. And in double quick time too. Ginting giving CHOU Tien Chen something of a lesson than opening game. It'll be fascinating to see if the man from Chinese Taipei can fight back. But first blood to the Indonesian.
Ya, ini saya kan udah gak enak deh. Kalau bisa. Kalau dia dari setengah depan atau pegang depannya ini penting. belakangnya kalau ada supaya kamu nggak punya tangan kaki. Jadi kalau kamu kecil tambah masuk supaya kamu dia nggak bisa berancang lagi aja. Ya, murah banget.
Fourteen, 17. For 1, 20 seconds. For 1, 20 seconds. Second game. Level. Play.
Excellent control by Ginting there.
17.
Strong signal to send to your opponent that the court that he's struggled to control, you can control from the go in the second game.
Shirts over. 18, 16. One, all. 19, 16. Two, one. Shirts over. 17, 19.
Good lead from Ginting and a pretty good shot that preceded it too.
Yeah, one of the things playing with the drift is that it's clearly an advantage if you have the speed and your movement, and definitely Ginting has that. And also a strong net game is.
19.
It's always good to have a strong net game, but it's even more crucial when you basically want to play from above the tape and don't want to get out of position and be forced to lift. As long as you're in balance, you can control your shots.
Shirts over. 20, 18.
That's well played.
19, 20.
Just non-stop, unrelenting pressure on CHOU Tien Chen from Ginting.
And we can see that CHOU has definitely geared up. The question is whether he's geared up from third to first or from fifth to third. That we'll have to see.
I mean, you mentioned that he realised probably halfway through the opening game he wasn't going to win it. But sometimes it can be very difficult just to flick a switch and go from, you know, playing by his standards pretty average badminton to playing at a level that's going to give Ginting a problem, because Ginting's come out really fired up.
Yeah, it can be, but he's been around for some years, CHOU, and the longer you've been experiencing these difficult or changing playing conditions, the better you get at coping with them. But right now things are looking a little bit bleak. He's got to catch a break somehow to get back in this match, I think.
Well, Chou's point, but he had to work so hard.
Excellent drop shot.
What's she going to do if he wins the title? Playing well.
5, 3. Hold 20 seconds. Hold 20 seconds.
Well, he looks heavenward, absolutely disgusted with himself after that. Points so hard won, and he so easily frittered away.
So quick on his feet. I mean, it's not like CHOU Tien Chen is a slow player at all. He's very speedy himself and can really pick up pace. But compared to Ginting, he's the slower of the two, no doubt about it.
3, 2.
His movement backwards, Ginting, is so nice to watch because that's one of the overlooked areas, the ability to move backwards from the front court to the back court quickly. Really, really important to have that skill.
So a couple of errors from Ginting has reduced Chou's deficit to just a single point.
Yeah. And that was perhaps what he needed, but error again here. But there's another thing. I mean, there's so many tournaments in this Olympic qualification year, and at some point you have to gear down and put some variation into your practice, so you practice a little harder in the intervals on court. You practice a little bit harder in the weight room. We don't know how the players' practice plan is, but we know that come January there's Super 500 tournaments again.
6.
That's more like it from CHOU Tien Chen. Yeah, I mean, they have to plan almost with military precision their schedule in an Olympic year. As you say, we start early in January.
5, 6.
And they have to try and find a way to peak July, August time.
See, that's the way we're used to see CHOU. He can pick up speed as well, and here he got a couple of good chances where Ginting was lifting quite a bit short, actually.
7,
And
5.
so he stayed in it. CHOU 8-all, and for Ginting, of course, it would be nice to create a little bit of a cushion going into the later stages of this second game here, because he's been the dominant player so far in this match. Excellent again.
6-8. Service over. 9-6.
I think I could have sorted that one out.
He got a little bit angry with that shuttle, CHOU.
Yeah. Huge net cord. It went straight up in the air.
10-7.
Was it Hong Kong that was CHOU's last tournament before this? It was. So that's pretty much a month ago or so, 3 weeks ago, lost in the quarterfinal there. So he's had a possibility of putting in 3 weeks of good practice, or perhaps even a little break after Hong Kong to let the body recover.
9-10.
Hanging tough though, Anthony Ginting. Final point before the mid-game interval. Psychologically, always good to get your nose in front.
11-9. Interval.
And it will be CHOU Tien Chen who has the slendest of advantages. 11-10 at the mid-game break.
Got to 20 seconds. Got to 20 seconds. 11-9.
20 seconds. Hold on, 20 seconds.
12-9. Service over. 10-12.
Oh, fantastic net game by both players. Excellent pictures from our net cam there. Sometimes from our position here, it's difficult to say how close it actually is that they're playing to the net, but some really good shots from the two players there.
Unsuccessful. One challenge remaining.
So now he's 3 points ahead. CHOU.
13-10.
That was on the line. Going to have a look though.
I can tell him it was on the line.
14-10.
Well, he has the momentum. He thinks I may as well have a look. I don't think he genuinely thinks he's going to get it. But
No, I don't agree, because he was in a good run of points there, so I didn't want to get the break, that little break, because before Hawkeye makes its decision.
which inevitably was challenge unsuccessful. Well, let's see whether CHOU Tien Chen can pick up the the impetus he had before that Hawkeye interruption.
15-11. 16-11.
Wow. Oh, he broke the string. Ginting, that's why.
Six over 12-17. Six over 18-12.
14-12.
Six over 13-18. 14-18.
Well, the game one, all those were hitting the line.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
No, and now it looks the other way around. From the first game, it looks like Ginting is sort of bracing himself for a decider as well. Unless he scores a couple of easy points, I think. That's well played.
16-11.
Challenge unsuccessful. No challenge remaining. Six over 19-14. Play. Six over 15-19.
Missoula. 12-16.
Good shot. Excellent play.
Looks a completely different match now, doesn't it?
Yeah, and CHOU is not being made to work hard for his points in this second game here. So it shows us how difficult it is to play here in Chen He Gymnasium.
20, match point 16.
You must remember that this is basically a first round match where we have number 2 in the world against number 8 in the world. That would never happen in a regular tournament where they would both be seeded. So that would be a quarterfinal match where they had 2 matches to acclimatize to the playing conditions, get used to the drift, get used to the distance, to the spectators, and those kind of things. Lucky net caught.
18-13.
Well, if Ginting could win the next couple of points, that might just put a little bit of pressure on CHOU Tien Chen.
He's so fast covering the flat lift over his left shoulder. It's not like he's ready with the racket, it just comes up really quickly.
So an excellent shot from Chow gives him 6 game points to level the match.
14. Reserve 15, 20. Yes.
What's going on?
Long it is. So 21 points to 15. An immediate response from CHOU Tien Chen to losing the opening game. And we're set for a decider in this last match of the session.
Polanya keluarnya kamu udah baca. Kalau tadi terus sampai fokusnya kamu ngapain jadi antara adu dat atau mau diadu net depannya, nah ini kan jadi nggak fokus. Kalau tadi lain. Waktu kalau tadi kamu antara taruh bukanya pas tuh, lihat-lihatan tuh. Oh ini kan kita antara mancing nggak mancing gitu. Kamu goset orang, nah ini gitu doang. Kalau kamu panjangin dia keluar nggak apa-apa, sama-sama nggak mati. Ini mesti sama. Ya. Kalau net tungguin dia paling kiri belah, angkat nggak apa-apa. Ya lihat kualitas net ke kamu. Kalau nggak panjang, waktu kamu taruh net ya dia tahu deh kamu belum pernah tap, jadi dia berani. Dia tahu keadaan ini. Jadi kalau nggak udah panjangin, kalau duluin sintir ya udah, kalau nggak panjangin lagi aja, sama-sama. Ya. Dari setengah belakangnya kamu lebih fokus lagi. Oh, sama-sama nggak gitu. Tapi kalau saya lihat kamu buka dia udah 3/4, udah 60%-nya udah keluar terus dia. Jadi kalau gini kamu bukanya udah kasih di tengah. Perhatiin, kalau nggak ya kamu gini, kalau nggak jangan main di ranah antara taruhnya kamu bukanya, jangan. Nggak terus gini sampai kamu bisa ngontrol lagi. Dari pertama, kecuali kamu net kamu juga bagus ya. Ayo.
Final game. Level play.
So will the CHOU Tien Chen revival continue, or will Ginting find some of the inspiration we saw in the opening game?
Ladies and gentlemen, court 2, women's single. With technical positions.
And we should be in for some fireworks now, because now there's no holding back even on this near side of the court as we saw in the first game. You've got to put yourself in as good position as possible, preferably leading at the change of ends, and that means that both players, they have to go all out now. There's no saving energy.
Thailand.
接下来出场的是来自泰国的护桑兰。
That was rather telegraphed, and Ginting pretty quick to read it.
Yeah. He's got to get the pace up, Joel, if he's to create problems for Ginting in the first part of this third game. future. And that's the key, keeping the control on this near side of the court. We saw how Chen Long did it brilliantly in the previous match against Victor Axelsen.
Well, good anticipation there from Chow. They say in a lot of sports, one of the keys to a good player or a good team is that they can win without being at their best. I think if Chow does come through this match, that will probably be applicable. It's a good shot from Ginting, though.
Yeah, but he's also said, Cho, that he's developed a lot on the mental side, that he knows that a point is just a point, whether you won it or lost it, it's just 1 point. So you can still win another point if you can sort of keep your composure. And I think he's improved a lot on that part of his game. That's a great smash.
Yeah, wrong-footed Ginting. His first movement was away to his right. Shuttle went the other way.
He succeeded, Cho, in sort of taking all pace out of this match.
The first time that just looked a little, let's say tired, but a bit casual from Ginting.
Yeah, but and I think that's the pace, that there's not really any pace in this. It's taking its time between the rallies, is Cho, and it's not fast and furious where Ginting can use his speed. It's a very interesting match in terms of tension and who will come up eventually on top of this match here, but we haven't seen beautiful rallies. We've seen tactical play.
Yeah. It's not been like Chen Long versus Axelsen, has
No,
it?
there was much more. Both those two players came out with guns blazing. There's a challenge.
So called out, Ginting eager to get Hawkeye involved. Just to reiterate, not a single challenge has been successful so far on this court today. Not that there have been that many, but there must have been half a dozen, maybe 7 or 8. See whether this will get any joy.
Yeah,
there we go.
So a long break here after that rally. I know Ginting broke a string, but definitely both players are taking their time.
Okay.
Well, quick as he is and excellent scrambler as he is, Ginting had absolutely no chance of getting across to that.
I mean, from looking at these two matches in this group here, I mean, if you're Chen Long sitting out in one of the rooms behind the stadium here looking at this match, you're not making any plans for Saturday. You have a good feeling that you might be playing here, and Axelsen sees his chance as well, I think, but we might be totally wrong, and it's these two men that progresses to the semi-final. That's the beauty about badminton, but it's been a it's been sort of a silent war between these two here.
I was about to say, not quite a war of attrition, but it's been a match without any real flow to it.
Yeah.
But neither will probably care too much if they emerge victorious in 10 minutes' time or thereabouts.
And that's, I mean, that's one of the beautiful things about badminton. There's so many ways that you can win badminton matches. You can be physically superior, you can be tactically superior, you can be mentally strong. But again,
that was a big chance, one he couldn't take. So Ginting with a very slender advantage at the mid-game interval.
Kan tenaga kanannya aja ya. Oke. Ada tenaga serang aja udah coba. Coba.
11-10. Play.
So the crucial moment has arrived, the last, the second half of the deciding game, and nothing to separate these two.
Left.
That's a more comfortable lead. Just a quick update for you on the other court in the women's singles. CHOU Tien Chen 11-1 up on Busanan on Bangrumpan in the all-Thai women's singles match. 11-1. Wow. Back here, distinctly closer between these two. Well, that's much better from Ginting. First one he's landed like that for a while. We saw a whole succession of them in the opening game.
Wait, defense. Being made to work a lot, but I think there's a challenge here, yeah. I'm not saying that the line call is wrong, I'm just saying that from up here it looked close enough to get a second opinion on that one, on CHOU Tien Chen's back line.
Called out. And out it was.
Yeah. And that's the problem for Ginting now, that CHOU is creeping closer to the front court, covering the net, knows that it's very, very difficult for the Indonesian to play the back line with accuracy and with pressure. So he can sort of chase Ginting around the court if his shot making is good enough.
All of a sudden, crowd getting a bit more involved, siding with CHOU Tien Chen for the most part. And now a few errors creeping into Ginting's game as well.
16-13.
Oi, what a deception. And it's gone long.
Well, he's going to have a look. I guess it's got to the point of no return nearly now. But he will be, if he doesn't win this challenge, really disappointed to have lost that point. Because it looked for all the world as though he had it in the bag. Not the case. Called out. But it's got the line.
And that was one of the deceptions that sometimes put your opponent out of his shoes. He was in the totally wrong direction there, CHOU.
Thank you.
Not doing anything in a hurry.
No,
CHOU Tien Chen.
exactly. I was thinking the same thing.
Always had the impetus in the rally. Sneaking slowly towards the winning line.
Well survived by Ginting there, because CHOU was making it difficult for him, making the court extremely big.
Yeah, I mean, once again, a rally he had no right to win, really. That was a little timid. A little timid.
He's normally extremely good at the net game, Anthony Ginting. And now I guess CHOU is a slight favourite, but it could definitely go either way.
Yeah, right back in this now, Ginting. Big point for CHOU. His reaction will tell you that, and hers. And I think this is a huge point coming up. If it goes 19-16, tough to see Ginting recovering.
Yeah.
18-17, right in the mix again.
He missed it. He missed it. Advocating that Ginting touched it.
Umpire says no, he didn't.
No, no, the umpire judged it as well.
I beg your pardon. Yeah, he has. He has. And it's not something that he can use Hawkeye to challenge.
No.
So 2 more points. Put that man off to a winning start in the group.
Lost the final in Hong Kong on a very doubtful fault call on top of the tape, Ginting. So can understand that he's a little bit frustrated. That stayed in.
But that one hit the line. It's always a bit early today. It's almost like Chow wants to kind of crawl over the line rather than charge over it. Just hoping that was out rather than genuinely thinking it was going to be. So still just about in touch here, Ginting. And this is another huge point for him.
Oh, good serve.
That makes things much more interesting. Much more interesting.
No, terrible. Oh, that's fantastic. He survived that terrible deception attempt in the middle of the rally where CHOU was absolutely waiting for it.
That was phenomenal though from Ginting. And he's hauled himself back from 19-16 down to get on level terms. And effectively, could be the best of 3 points from here unless we go deeper. But Ginting was a big outsider a couple of minutes ago, not now. It's a toss-up again.
And he's attacked the serve, CHOU, the last couple of times. Will he do that again? Maybe just block it. Shot. Oi!
Well, that maybe could have trickled over, but it didn't. And it gives the world #2 match point.
I think he broke his string.
That's a couple of times he's done that.
No, I was wrong. I think it was just the grip. Yeah, that's everything on the edge. It's millimeters whether it rolls over and is totally unreturnable or stays on your own side.
Shuttles have minds of their own. So, Ginting has to save match point here.
Save. Oi. Amazing defense. No. Wow.
Oh, eventually Ginting finds a way to save match point. Unbelievable. Best rally of the match by a country mile, and it came at match point. How many miraculous saves did CHOU make in that point?
2, 3. It took some time with the fireworks that I promised ahead of the third game, but here it was. It's almost worth the whole match, that rally.
Would you like to choose a winner for me from here, Steve?
I think I've seen Ginting on the wrong end of a lot of devastating losses, so I'll go with the Indonesian.
I was going to say, I've got a coin in my pocket. That might be the best way, because this is tough to call. Ginting looked in big trouble at 19-16 down, fought back, and he saved a match point, giving himself a chance. Missed it. The challenge, well, I guess he has to at this juncture.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't have to call that shot there.
In case we needed any more drama at 20-all, we need Hawkeye to rule on this. Called out. Ginting will be praying it caught a piece of the line. Nowhere near. So for the second time, CHOU has match point. And no more challenges for Ginting. May not matter in a minute. And the drama continues.
Yeah.
Just wonder if CHOU was being maybe a little over safe in that rally. Just almost waiting, thinking I'll just stay in the point and wait for my opponent to make the error. In the end, he was the one who made it. Look at Ginting full marks for fighting his way back into this on more than one occasion. So another chance for CHOU. And at some point you think even law of averages dictates he's going to take one of these.
Oi, that's a great rally by Ginting.
And what a fabulous shot when you're match point down, especially. No fear whatsoever. Just the way that things go in sport, having now saved 3 match points, Ginting, if he was to get one himself, I'd fancy him to take it.
Because if you're Chow, you sort of feel like you should win this now that you've had 3 opportunities.
Yeah. And it's almost like for Ginting, he's almost free rolling.
Yeah.
Because he could so easily be gone.
Yes. Oi, hesitation.
It's fatal. And especially, you know, with the score the way it is, any doubt, you just got to play it, surely.
Yeah.
Well, he saved 3 match points, now he has to save another one. Can't keep producing these little mini comebacks, can he? Chow must be just wanting to get the job done and put this man away. Like a boxer that won't go down. Needs to find the knockout punch here, Chow.
No. Broke a string. Well, we've got all the tension and excitement here in the extra points. Trev, that's been a really, really great third game, in my opinion.
Who knows how much more badminton's left in this match?
Yeah, that could be like 10 minutes.
Excellent shot from Chow. Match point number 5 coming up. Great accuracy with that. Even wonderful scrambler as he is, Ginting could do nothing with it. Well, what a tame anticlimactic end to what was a thrilling final game. 25-23 in the end in Chow's favour. He was pretty poor in the opening game, came back well in the second, but that was a dramatic conclusion. And in the end, after so heroically saving 4 match points, Ginting with a uncharacteristic error into the net that rather gifted the match. Here it is. Didn't see that coming. I don't think Chow could quite believe it, looking at his reaction. Great sportsmanship between those two. We saw a lot of that today, especially from Victor Axelsen. Anyhow, Chow wins 11-21, 21-15, 25-23. 73 minutes on court. let's give you a rundown then of what we've seen today. If you've been with us since 11 o'clock, thanks for joining us. If you haven't, you might want to check on all the results from Court 1. We started off with 3 straight game victories, and then the last 2 were much longer affairs. So we saw Purvarankuro and Terattanachai win pretty comfortably. Then Li and Wang got the better of Liu and Yang in the All Chinese Taipei men's doubles. Wang and Huang took just half an hour to dispose of Chen and Go of Malaysia. Victory there for the Chinese pair. Chen Long and Victor Axelsen, absolutely superb match, which Chen Long eventually won 21-17 in the third. And as you've just seen, CHOU Tien Chen, at the 5th time of asking, 5 match points, eventually got past Anthony Ginting 25-23 in the third, having dropped the opening game. Now then, what's coming up for you later on Court 1? Well, plenty is the answer. What a lineup that is. If you like men's doubles, Gideon and Sukamuljo, can't get better than that. We'll see Tai Tzu Ying, the world champion, Momota, and also Anders Antonsen, who's had such a wonderful season as well. So please join Jill Clark and also Steen Pedersen for that. Starts at 6 o'clock local time. For now, though, from me, Trevor Harris, and for Steen, our whole crew here in China, it's goodbye.